importance as one of the sources. So this is what the projections say in the next 20, 30 years, how things would move. So how biofuels are of interest to us? Again, some of these things have been touched previously. What one would look for, the major issue which has been also discussed is it that we bring biofuels without disturbing the food and fodder cycle, and what are the ways to do that? So we know very well that there are a lot of linkages with respect to government subsidies to farmers. So how do we manage these issues? Then it should, when we are going to use some of even the land which is being used for growing agricultural food products, if it could be used tomorrow by the same farmers for growing crops which would be for biofuels, so how do we balance that? Because that's going to create a sort of a conflict. Because I believe, and I remember, I think Manfred Schneider is there, in Germany it so happened that the government started giving a subsidy to the farmers for the biodiesel aspect for growing rapeseed plant. And what I believe is a large number of farmers, in fact, stopped growing wheat, and they wanted to cash on growing rapeseed. So, then you get a shortage of really the food grain, what is really required, like wheat. So these are some of the things. How do we balance this? This is something which, again, has to be discussed. So we talk of several things. What could be, no doubt some of the negative things, but also there are definitely some possible benefits out of this. Whether we, as discussed previously, that how to use marginal lands, how to use lands of that type without disturbing the agricultural lands. This is something which one needs to look at very carefully, how best we can do that. But again, there are lots of questions in this also. How do we do this? So challenges. So let us see as we go in this session how we could talk about these things. I don't have to go through this. Everybody, particularly from people from this country, know that we have a national biofuel policy. And what is thought is that something by 2017, we want to have something like 20%, which is like unimaginable. Because today, what I believe is only 5% of bioethanol is being added only in metros, that too. Then how do you expect this to happen in the just next few years? This may not happen. So this is something which is not really practical. So maybe we have to suggest to the government that what is practically possible on this aspect. So all these aspects are very, I would say, very important issues where we could give certain suggestions in this regard.